Want to be a part of the revival? Get your exclusive merch now. Shop our online store and show your hometown spirit.
All right, guys. Brad Clay here, director of Cal's Hometown Revival, and I am joined by Miss Cal herself.
Hello.
Over here across from me on the couch. And we're also joined by our producer and editor, Adam Carter.
Back in the booth.
You're back.
Where I'm supposed to be.
You're back behind the screens in the dark room.
Yes.
So you'll notice that we do have a location change. Why do we have a location change, Cal?
Well, I thought it was because it was going to be easy for us to do it, but apparently it's because I refused to meet in Oklahoma when we were all together. I was like, we'll do it later. It's fine.
And that did not happen. We planned on for the launch. So here we are. We're talking about, you just joined us from watching.
Jumping right in.
Episode 6 of us in Post, Texas. And obviously we're going to get to Post, but we got to talk about how we got to here.
Which is in Longview.
We're in Longview, Texas.
East Texas.
Which is 6 hours from where we initially planned on filming this. Just going to throw that out there. But
My bad.
Cal, she's the star. All right? She's the star.
She's the star.
She's the
the bright and shining star.
The reason that Post, the behind the revival, isn't filmed in our normal location is that when we filmed all those, we hadn't actually filmed in Post yet.
There was no behind the scenes.
There was no behind the scenes, so we couldn't talk about it because it hadn't happened yet. Post was a pretty quick turnaround because we built that entire episode around the rodeo.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We did everything around the rodeo. And so we hadn't filmed it yet. But when we did our watch party, we had the whole crew. It was so much fun.
It was. It was a great night.
Should we do a quick stint on our favorite part about the watch party? Since that's kind of in the past, we could talk about it.
Yeah.
We're Post. Get it? Post.
Anyway.
Post the revival, or post the watch party. This is just all the Posts episode behind the revival. This is why the people come for these moments.
This is like the behind the Post revival of the revival. The whole thing is done.
It's the Post of the Post.
With the most.
You know how many people walked away? They just closed this.
Lost them.
They just closed this.
I feel like a lot of people just were like, this is what I came for.
Yeah.
Give me another Xanax.
Speaking of injuries or medication.
We're not on the Post side of that yet.
Not only did we drive 6 hours, I threw out my lower back about 4 days ago. Bad. Like the day after, I had to roll off the side of the bed and pee in a cup because I couldn't walk to the toilet. That's bad.
Been there.
Adam was giving me a little bit of a hard time about it, and today
I felt like I was really sympathetic.
Today he woke up and he was not able to turn his neck.
That's why when I have to get this camera over here, I have to
He has to turn like Batman. It was so much so we're driving from Oklahoma to Longview, Texas, and Adam, when we get to a stop sign, he goes, "Is anybody coming from the left?" He couldn't look this way to see if somebody's coming, so I would have to lean out and be like, "We're clear," so he could turn because he couldn't look to the left. Anyway, so we do have some injuries, and which we carried in all this equipment, and Cal sat here on the couch.
Because she's the star.
Okay, but I didn't ever think I was going to have diva moments. You hear like those, like, I only want green M&Ms. Like,
yeah, no.
I'm still a diva, and I don't even mean to be.
When I travel and speak for Final
Descent
Outdoors and do things, I require 1,000 brown M&Ms in a brandy glass.
Why the brown ones?
They're the best. It's the closest thing to real chocolate. Oh, we have gotten so off course, folks.
Back to one.
We are in Longview, Texas, but we did have our watch party for the first episode, and so it's kind of the first time we had an opportunity to talk about that. But it was fun. We did that in Oklahoma, in Edmond, Oklahoma. We're close to where we're based at. You came up We had the whole crew there. It was so much fun.
Yes, everybody was fun. Like, you got, like, you know, all the plans that went into everything, flowers, food, pizza, and it was just like the crew.
Goodie bags. Everybody got goodie bags.
I mean, April just killed it on that. So Brad's wife, she like pretty much planned everything, put it together. Because like there was really no plan to kind of have that moment. And it was like she like demanded that we had that moment and celebrated everything and took a minute to stop and just appreciate. And then, you know, Casey brought some beautiful flowers. So I show up and I'm like, everybody just really. You
were so emotional that day. We did that live on social media and you just started crying.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen you.
I know. I'm an emotional creature. I've never seen you break down. Really?
No, I've never seen you cry.
Oh my
We've spent a lot of time together.
Because we laugh a lot.
Yeah, I'm funny.
Mask it with laughter.
We do. Exactly right. I mean, we really do. We talk about all kinds of stuff, but it's always joking.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because it's like, but the feelings are always there. Like, I feel like it's, you know, Casey brought flowers, Karen brought flowers, Jordan's mom brought flowers too. And so I had like these 2 big flowers walking around. Everybody's family was there. Kids were there. And it was like, not only were we watching it together and all taking a moment and just being like, we did it. We did it. We did this together. It was all of us, and it was so fun, and we really did feel like, you know, like it was something wholesome and good, and like God was involved in that, and it was just like, it was a good thing. It was a good moment in time to just sit and go, yes. But it was cool too because everybody else was watching it. Yeah. Like everybody back home was watching it. Everybody, all the friends and the people online, they were watching it at the same time, and there was just a lot of kind of not pressure, but like building up to that moment, and you're like, everybody, it's like out.
Yeah.
You know,
for
it
sure.
was cool.
It was great. It was
cool.
It was awesome. And then the next day we planned on getting up and doing the post.
Oh yeah, back to my
the post behind the revival of Post Texas. And Cal was just adamant, like, I'm not doing this at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, I get up early. I like a 5 a.m. person, so I like getting up early. But I do. I do usually when I go somewhere, I love to stay at really cool Airbnbs. Like I love to find really cute Airbnbs and beautiful nature places. And so I found one, and I hadn't gotten to enjoy waking up and having like a cup of coffee there. So I was like, oh, I just want to sleep in and I really want to wake up and have a cup of coffee at this Airbnb.
So for Cal to have that cup of coffee, it meant that we packed all the equipment up. We drove 6 hours, set it up in this home, and here we are today.
When we edit this, I'm going to send you the video of how much equipment's actually in this room right now.
We'll put it in right now. Now. This is the point you can see all the things.
Let's go ahead while we're putting things in. Let's just drop that picture of that man's pedicures that were on there. We have a comment from the Brady behind the scenes. She was very upset she didn't get to see the pedicure. So let's just drop that in this episode, right?
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
What
the Brady, the episode in the behind the scenes Brady, when we're talking about dancing and Brady, and that the man had the pedicure. There was comments that they go, we want to see the pedicure. We said we'd drop it in, and we didn't drop it in.
The guy had his toenails painted.
So let's put his picture over all this.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Okay.
Wow. All right, so Post Texas.
Yeah. We're off the rails.
Post was our last episode to film, and like I said before, is because we kind of built that all around the rodeo. They wanted us to be there during rodeo week, and so Rhett, the city manager there, we kind of got all that planned out to be able to make that happen. And I actually came prior to that when you were really heavy into the murals, and we spent a couple days together.
Yeah.
And filmed.
Yeah.
And so I came in and filmed a lot of the mural work, especially on the really bright colored mural that is awesome, by the way. I mean, it's just so bright right there. Beautiful. I filmed a ton of that, of you actually working on it. So there was multiple trips of not just you working, but us actually, filming. But the whole crew comes in. It was so much fun being there during rodeo week. because the rodeo in Post Texas is a huge deal.
Man, the rodeo in Post Texas, what's cool about the rodeo Post Texas, it's like old school.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in rodeos, but that was like taking back 1980s rodeo.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the mutton busting. Like, you know, you go to rodeos now and the kids are wearing like the helmets and the vests and stuff. Not in Post Texas.
No, baby.
Post Texas. Not in Post Texas.
Rub some dirt on it, boy. You're fine.
I mean, those sheep are hauling butt too, and those kids are just
Hanging
nothing.
on.
Just
Hanging on with everything they had.
I remember that little girl. She took off, and she held on and held on and held on, and the rodeo clown was, put it in reverse, Tara! Put it in reverse, Tara! She held on. They're like, you should let go now.
yeah.
She rode through half of that arena.
I tell you what's crazy too is that from bronc riders to bareback to bull riders, there's guys all over the world.
Yeah.
There was a
riding
dude
it.
from Australia,
Brazil, Canada. I mean, there's guys from all over the place where they're riding in that rodeo.
Just making the circuit, I guess.
And you had the opportunity. They asked you to be in the opening ceremony.
They did. Oh, Giles. They had that wagon. I guess they used that. One of the guys had it, and then they asked me to be a part of it. And I was really glad because if you guys have watched the rest of the season, the guys really like to put me into situations that make me uncomfortable. And there really wasn't one in post. I don't remember. There wasn't one in post. But there was going to be one because I have ridden horses before, but I'm not the best. Like, I don't feel super comfortable riding a horse. We were going to go in, and I was going to have to ride.
The initial plan was they were going to have you ride in with a flag.
Yeah.
Like one of the flag girls. And
Did
I
you
watched
see
it.
those flag girls?
Listen, they were booking it, man. You would have been. Hey, listen. A lot of them were high school girls, and they were good at it, bro. Like, they grew up. Them were ranch girls. They are legit cowgirls.
100%.
If you would have been riding out, they would have been waiting on you. There'd have been like a log jam of you.
They would have been making fun of me. That rodeo clown would have been making fun of me in that arena. Those girls were standing up in their stirrups, holding the thing, and just like flying. Sprinting. And I saw that, and I said, "Oh, thank God that I'm in this wagon."
Yeah, you're just trotting along in a wagon, waving. Just doing your wave. It was great.
It was great. It was a great way to come in and get entered in.
I will say this too, because there's people. I'm sure people wonder like how much of the show's real, how much of it's scripted.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, we have an outline of what we're gonna do, and when we go to certain places, but I wouldn't say it's 100% scripted. Like, we have to have connecting points to get to different places and some things like that. That's scripted.
But even some of those come after the fact when something completely random happens that we did not plan for.
100%. No, 100%. That definitely happens. But your outfit was legitimately bought
at that boutique
on the spot at that boutique. Like, you didn't go, like, it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to wear this or I'm going to have this. You legit went into the boutique.
I was just hoping I was going to find something.
Yeah. Because we talked about it. I was like, are you bringing anything? Like, you were like, yeah, but I also know you're packing.
Yeah.
Refer back to previous episodes of her vehicle with, do you own a suitcase?
I own one, but it's brand new. It's in my basement. I can't put stuff into things because I can't remember what I have in there. So the laundry basket's like, I can just throw things, I see it. And I know, and I can just like throw hairdryer, clothes, everything in the laundry basket. I walk into hotels with those laundry baskets.
I know you do.
I check in.
Cal, I know. We've done these things together. Stayed places where you walk in with a laundry basket. A broken laundry basket.
A laundry basket.
Handles are snapped. Like it's the I said I was going to buy you a new one.
And Walmart
I
bags.
bought you flip flops on the way to post.
Those were nice. Loki
$1 from Dollar General.
Dollar General.
She was so impressed. I told her she'd get 2 pair.
It was a big day.
She's like, is it in the budget?
It's a big day.
We're gonna throw that clip in.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, that was a good day.
I filmed that.
This is a mini episode. This turned into a mini episode.
It's the post of the post.
It's the post of the
Roll
post.
the clip.
Exactly. So, you went there and you didn't really have any idea what you're gonna wear for the rodeo. And we went to that boutique and obviously you were able to find stuff and you tried on Well, I can't remember what her name was. I'm losing my mind.
I can't either. It's the top of my head.
She brought out a giant rack. She probably had
thousands.
Probably 100 outfits for you to try on, and we're like, we don't have time to
Yeah,
do
we
this.
just need like 5.
So we narrowed it down to like, okay, we whittled down and then tried on the different outfits. And I know a ton of that didn't make it into the episode, just because we didn't have time of like how many outfits you changed into, but it was a lot that we filmed you in different outfits. Was it fun though? Like, is it like, fun. I mean, when you get to go and you're just trying on clothes.
Yeah, it was fun because it's not really like it's not really my style of clothes. Some of it wasn't, so it was fun.
Yeah, nothing looked like you were homeless.
It was fun because it was like glitter and this sequins and
bright,
bright. Like it was just like
big
it was
boots
fun.
and
it was fun.
skirts.
Yeah,
and, I mean, she was
because I was like, oh, I could take that and this and mix this and make that, And so the pants, those awesome striped pants that I landed on, is my Dwight Yoakam pants. Because I have like Dwight Yoakam is like my guy. Like I love Dwight Yoakam, so that was my ode to Dwight Yoakam.
Okay, Dwight, if you ever watch this,
Dwight, call me. Let's garden together.
There you go. There we go. Season 2, we're at Dwight's. Anyway, so outside of doing that, one of the things that people don't know is that we actually stayed on a giant ranch, and so there's a scene where Rhett's talking to you about the Cap Rock, because one of the things that Post is really kind of known for in that area is it really does sit on the edge of these cliff rocks.
Yeah.
Right? And so the terrain there really is beautiful. And where we actually stayed at a good friend of mine, the Miller family. They own the Miller Ranch, I believe 60, 70, 80,000 acre ranch that's just south of Post in Fluvanna, just a few miles away. We actually stayed on a house on the ranch, and so we did that morning, got up, and I love that we didn't get to expand on that too. Cal mentioned she likes to get up at 5 a.m., except on days that we need to do work, like today.
Which day? On that day?
Yes, you pop out of bed. You are like, you're giddy at 5 a.m. You're just like ready to go. There's a scene of you like dancing in the kitchen as coffee's brewing.
Oh yeah, it's my hour.
My favorite scene. I look horrible. I look like microwaved dog crap. All right? That would be the best description I give for myself. But Titus, our camera operator, over my shoulder, who was like, I'll get up and go with y'all.
Yeah, we told him, hey, bud, it's going to be early. It's a quick turnaround.
You don't have to do it. We'll skeleton crew this. It's just me and Adam. And he's like, no, I'll get up and go with you. When he walked out of that room, he looked like he was regretting that decision.
Oh, he had that cowlick this, like a little boy. He like walked in there like a
That's Titus though, man.
So good.
Just down for a good time.
Just down for a good time.
And he really is. He really is.
Titus is great. Yeah. Our whole crew is great.
100%.
And speaking of crew, in this episode, Gilly kind of has a big feature.
Yeah, so Gilly, our sound engineer, shows up in multiple episodes.
Yes.
In some form or fashion. He has
theme.
multiple speaking parts in episodes. He's in the Coleman episode.
Yeah.
Because you're like, roll it, Gilly, who the sound engineer has nothing to do with. You tell him to roll the footage, and we do that about Coleman. He's in this episode. He is in Angleton. Splashing around in the water.
Splashing in the water. I forgot about that one too.
So Gilly's made several appearances, and Gilly's an incredible sound engineer. He's worked on Twisters. He's worked on all these incredible motion, big motion pictures. But we just have an incredible crew of guys, and Titus falls into that as well. Mm-hmm. Done huge projects. But we go and
Heston found a belt buckle with his name on it.
He
did find it with his name on it.
I ended up putting that in the
At
episode.
The Plum Crazy
Plum
story.
Crazy, yeah. Plum
because she had purple hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
I saw that clip in there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there for that day. I had to leave that last day.
Yeah.
But anyway, but we go to the cliffs.
So cool.
And watch the sunrise, and it is unbelievable.
It is, and Post, they were known for like the rodeo cowboys, but they were also known for bringing in a lot of Texas artists at the same time. Back in the day, they used to have these big events, and they would all go down to the canyon, and they would have like these big cookouts, and the artists would paint, and it was just big thing. And so like Tom Ryan, who was a pretty famous Texas cowboy artist, he would come to these things and do that. And I actually got to redo a Tom Ryan mural in Midland on the library. So it was kind of a cool coming
full
back
circle.
Yeah. And so when I was in Post, because I've spent, out of all the towns, Post and Coleman are neck and neck, because I was there years before planning, and we talked about murals for a while, and then we went back for meetings a long time.
No, we did. It was a long time coming. Yeah.
And then we stayed and actually did the murals, and then we came back, did the episode stuff. And, you know, that has always been my thing about the Cap Rocks, was like, they're so beautiful driving in, but you don't ever get to go out and see them like up close, because, you know, it's people's land or this, that, and the other. So when we were out there, we actually got to go sit on the cliff and watch the sunrise.
My buddy Miller Valentine, who's I guess one of the, he lives on the ranch. His family owns it, the Miller Ranch, and he met us that morning. You know, directed us where to go. I've been on the ranch a bunch of times, but had an opportunity to go, and it was such a cool thing. And when I was out there watching the sunrise, you're having your whole like moment. I'm going, can you imagine being on a wagon and driving up to this?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine what that would have been like?
Well, this is where we die.
Yeah, and that's how the town Post was founded.
This is good enough.
We're stopping right here. This is where we're just gonna set up camp.
And so we pivoted. We were supposed to maybe get a helicopter ride to go see the cliffs instead, but we ended up staying at the ranch to seeing it in person. But there was a man who had a helicopter, and he was talking about taking us to one of the cliffs. It was like a 200-foot drop. And in history, it was like the Indians used to just get behind the buffalo, and then they would just run them off the cliff and kill them. Yeah.
It's crazy.
The old Buffalo Drive.
The old Buffalo Drive. Also, too, when I came to film you before the whole crew showed up, you have strange dietary things. You get on kicks.
I do. I get on obsessions.
Sweaty cheese. All right.
Say that again.
Sweaty cheese.
That didn't make the episode, I don't think.
No, it didn't. There's only so much time. Cal became obsessed with a beef jerky in Post, Texas. That's manufactured in Post, Texas. Mm-hmm. Because it's not normal beef jerky.
No, it's
like
sirloin.
It's like a steak dehydrated, big, thick,
juicy.
Yeah.
And I was
Jackson Brothers.
I was kind of Jackson Brothers. I love them, and everybody loves the Jackson Brothers, and they have their own cheese, and they have their own meat, and they you know, what's the right term? Not kill, but what's the right term when
they did hook us up with some steaks too.
And they slaughtered there, and it's so clean. We saw everything. Like, it's extremely clean. It's amazing. And
you got to make beef jerky there.
Yeah, but I do the carnivore diet a lot, where I eat just meat. And there's nothing.
Sweaty cheese.
And sweaty cheese. Cheese counts too. You can have cheese too. So yeah, when you're eating that.
Would you explain the process of creating sweaty cheese so the people will know? Because she was like, so I'm not on the same dietary restrictions that Cal is on a lot of times, and so we'll be together, and she'd be like, "Oh, I've got stuff at my place," and we'll go back, and she's got Jackson Brothers beef jerky, and she starts cutting cheese, which I'm like, okay, it's fine, but she's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna
nuke it for a little bit, a certain amount of time.
I'm gonna stick this in the microwave."
It's because my palate's very sophisticated. There is cheese that you get out. I can get cheese out of the refrigerator right now. Do you want sweaty cheese right now? I can go make some.
I do not.
There is cheese that you get out.
That's a hard pass.
That's cold, and it tastes a certain way. Mm-hmm. And then if you put said cheese into the microwave for approximately 8 to 10 seconds, it can't start melting. It has to be in the in-between stages. It's no longer cold, and it's not melted. It's like
starting to evolve.
It's just sweating off the pounds.
It's sweating a little bit, and then when you bite into it, it just it's like a warm smush. And the flavors at that stage, and they're different. I will show it to you guys. We will have a taste test so y'all can see that there's 3 different distinct phases.
Coming soon to Cal's website. Sweaty cheese.
It's in the merch store.
It'll be in the merch store. Check it out.
Tell me I'm wrong. Someone try it and then put it in the comments if you tried it, and tell me that I'm wrong, that cheese doesn't taste different in those 3 stages.
We have mentioned about your lack of cooking. You talked about this in the first episode.
I'm getting better.
And you said people are tired of my grilled cheeses. So I feel like there's a lot of your dietary things that involve cheese.
The cheese is so good.
I second.
But what's funny is that the amount of people that have sent in recipes, that have reached out and said, here's something really easy that Cal can cook. You don't have multiple people do that.
You guys didn't send those to me.
Because they would need to walk you through the process. I can't just hand it to you.
We should have a cooking show.
Cal
cooks.
We're gonna have to fill in filler between now and next season.
Cal's
cooking with just
what's that TV show
Coleman olive oil
where they make stuff and it's just really bad.
It'll be
Guys,
Cal's cooking show.
I have burnt boiled eggs. I have forgotten they were in there, and I went in and they were scorched because all the water had burnt out of the pan, making hard-boiled eggs. I am that person.
I didn't know that was possible.
I didn't know either.
It's very possible.
Scorched them.
And all the water was out, and then there was like dark
You pulled
yellow.
all the water out.
All the water out.
This was a substantial amount of time.
That was a long, long time.
Anyway. Wow.
So I'm saying, here's the thing with cooking. If you show me like an Instagram reel, I can do it. I've learned this. I can do it.
Because your attention span's 8.5 seconds.
I was going to say, is this the problem with the cooking ability or the attention span?
I don't know. No, it's because I overthink. This is my problem. It's because if I read a recipe and it says something and it's not very specific, then I don't know what to do. I go like,
you just shut down.
I shut down, and then I make a decision, and it's always the wrong decision. Always.
Because it always involves sweaty cheese.
I tried to make a layer cake one time, guys. It just was one big crumbled pan. There was no it was a chocolate cake, and it just was. I have a picture somewhere, and it's the saddest thing. Anyways, we should
goes
do it.
On the Is It Cake TV show. It's like, no, it is not.
It's nothing else either. Is this cake or is it a pile
soil.
of dirt?
It's potting soil.
It does look like potting soil. Oh, no.
Oh, you missed something along the way. Anyway.
Do.
Gosh, we're chasing all kinds of rabbits here. But anyway,
this is why we don't make these at night. We're tired,
and it is. We drove 6 hours and
chasing
we've had a day.
It's been.
Anyway, so we go to Jackson Brothers. That was one of the things you requested. It's like, hey, I really do love this, and you told me this way before we were. When we were scheduling things out to do in post.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to film a section in Jackson Brothers. And so we reached out to them like, yeah, for sure, come on by. And we get there and they're like, do you want to make beef jerky?
Yeah.
So they just turned you loose.
Yeah, and it's like all family back there.
Yep.
They've been doing it for years. Those guys with the knives are like, they're just going at it. And yeah, it was fun. So I got to see the whole thing. I got to cut the stuff. And they said I could work there. I'm pretty excited about that. And then I got to do the dredging.
I mean, if this doesn't work out, you have a backup plan.
Good, solid backup plan.
That feeds you, too. I mean, I could live there in that place and eat beef jerky forever. I'm good with it. So there was that. So Jackson Brothers is awesome. I recommend everybody go try Jackson. It's not like normal beef jerky.
It's not. I would definitely say that, too. It's not thin.
Yeah.
It is a thicker.
It is very unique.
Yeah, it is. So if you're a beef jerky connoisseur, you know somebody that is, just probably a great Christmas gift. Put that in a stocking.
Do you hear that? He said connoisseur. That means I have taste.
Connoisseur.
Did I even say that right? Connoisseur. Connoisseur.
I'm a connoisseur.
I'm a connoisseur of the sweaty cheese.
She says connoisseur, not like a French person, but like someone that's a con man who lives in the sewer.
A connoisseur.
I'm going to go con that sewer so hard that I'm going to take all that sewer's money.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to Behind the Revival.
This is it. This is Behind the Revival. Anyway, but I want to also mention too that you do have there's also a mural in post that we did not feature.
Okay, and so this is a good interjection. I like this. So this gives me a chance to talk about. There's 4 murals in post, and Caleb, who is in the episode quite a bit, he actually was the artist for one of the murals that we didn't highlight on the episode. But because
and the reason we didn't, it wasn't because we were like, "Ooh, that one sucks."
yeah, Caleb, sorry.
It was because it was above. It was like second floor of City Hall.
No, that was a different one. That was mine. It was across the town. It was just smaller. It was smaller, and the other two were just bigger. And so, but we want to start bringing on other artists that I work with. We want to start interviewing them. We want to start sharing other artists' stories and having them a part of episodes, because we're going to go to towns in the future and there's going to be other amazing murals already there. And we want to be able to talk about people and see their processes as well. You know what I mean? And so Caleb got to do that, but it's important for me to mention Cameron Alexander too. Cameron was really the main push behind the cowboy that you see, the one that says post with the big cowboy that's realistic. That was a Cameron's baby, and he was out of town when we filmed, and he wasn't able to make the filming. And I also worked with him in Angleton on the Longhorn Wall, so it's very important for me to give out a shout out to Cam for helping me on both of those. And he doesn't like being on camera, so I think he planned on being out of town.
You're like, I've left him several messages.
I did. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. And then he's like, turns out I'm on a flight. Can't be there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
So I have to he's like, you wouldn't want me there. I'm awkward on camera. He's like, but good job, Cal. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still going to. So we used some of those transitions of we were talking and some of that, you know, and so that I just want to make sure I give a shout out to him on that.
Yeah, but like we said, there's other murals. You guys did one that we didn't. So there's two murals that we didn't feature that are in post.
Yes.
That you did, and the other one's like on the second floor, really high, and we just decided this is hard.
You couldn't have gotten up there.
Right.
We don't want to get on top of a roof.
Yeah, insurance purposes.
It's not great.
It's a pretty fun climb up there, though. Y'all would have enjoyed it, but no.
Not with our current.
I don't.
Not in our current back situations.
It's hard to climb a ladder when you can't look left.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, you have some incredible murals there. Obviously, there's 4 that you've done there. And the episode, to me, we went into it because we knew that so much of the episode was riding on the rodeo and the prep for the rodeo. And then it turned into the parade, which we hadn't even talked about the parade. Like, as you said that, like, this feels so small town. Like, this is because everyone was there.
Yeah, this reminds me of, like, the parades I remember growing up in rural. Like, when I first said I wanted to do the show, like, the magic of being in a small town when everybody in the community is there and the kids are getting the candy. Like, that has stopped in a lot of places. A lot of people don't throw out candy anymore. They won't let the kids run up and get the candy and come back. Those streets were lined with little kids, and you were throwing the candy out, and they were, dodging tires, like my childhood, dangerous.
That's right.
It represented the rodeo with the mutton bust. It's like, helmets not required.
Yeah.
Helmets not required.
Almost got ran over by a Shriner driving a little mini car picking up a Jolly Rancher off the ground.
Stitch. Remember the guy there's a dude dressed in a Stitch outfit driving a convertible Charger.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And it's like iridescent.
Yeah. Well, and that was another thing. They just were like, hey, Cal, just get on a float.
Here's this.
Get on this fire truck. See you later.
This fire truck. And
Titus is like, can I come too?
Titus was pretty much the entire time Cal's camera man, like where you went. So he was in the wagon trying to brace himself and film you as they were riding the wagon out. He's on the fire truck trying to film you. So Titus was dedicated. I just want you guys to know how dedicated he was to filming you, and in some precarious kind of situations, to be able to get your face. So like,
at the rodeo,
like he's sitting backwards on a wagon, hanging on, got the camera, hanging on to the side, like doing the best that he can to not, fall and get run over by team horses.
Team horses on a wagon.
Trampled by a wagon.
Titus, we're going to need you to hold on. Our insurance will not cover this.
Yeah, it's a bad deal, bud.
I'm not going to lie. Going to that rodeo, there was a lot of masculine energy at that rodeo. It just felt like...
Because you got to
go back. You looked the wrong way, boy. You better be in check at that rodeo.
And they gave us full access.
Yeah, they're awesome.
You were standing...
We were literally in the announcer's booth.
You were in the announcer's booth, but you were like at the shoots.
Yeah.
At the shoots.
I didn't have any rules. They were like, do whatever you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. And then we didn't talk about this either.
And then you begin to overthink it.
I did.
I forget. We hadn't even talked about this. We had 2 huge guest appearances in this episode.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that.
We didn't even talk about this. We had 2 massive guests. The second most famous.
Second
his
most.
words.
Second most. Yeah.
Second most famous guest of this episode was Cord McCoy. Cord is a PBR, bull rider. He's rode broncs, huge name in the rodeo world. But not just that. If you guys didn't know this, at the very beginning when Cal's like, hey, I grew up around rodeos, but I don't know the behind the scenes. We go meet with Cord. Cord and his brother Jet won the Amazing Race, the TV show Amazing Race, twice. They did it twice. And so... Cord is an awesome guy. He gave us full access, and as he said, like his name, like I just saw him on ESPN. I just saw him on ESPN for an ad. It was him and riding solo, and so. But his words are, "I'm not the most famous person here."
McCoy Ranch has it more famous.
Yeah, he's like the McCoy Ranch. The name McCoy is not the most famous person here. The most famous person at the McCoy Ranch is riding solo.
6'12", riding solo.
6'12", riding solo.
What a cool name.
I know.
And what a sweet baby, by the way.
He was just a giant teddy bear.
He was a giant.
I mean, you're scratching on.
Yeah, he was like, if he likes you.
3-time, right?
Yeah, three-time PBR world champion bull.
Unbelievable.
Crazy. And she's over there rubbing on him, and he's just...
I still got... Look, I pulled him. Look at me, boy. Look at old Cal. I pulled him.
Yeah.
He's the most famous.
She's over there rubbing on him, and he's just going...
Oh, yeah.
Just licking his lips.
When he said that, he was like, he has incredible temperament. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's even videos of him, like, putting his little girl on top of him and him just walking around the arena. Like, he's just super gentle.
Well, he's a professional, he said.
He is, and he talked about he's a competitor.
Yeah.
And that was so cool to listen to him talk about. He goes, when the lights come on, he said he flips a switch.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows what my job, and he said he loves to do it.
Yeah.
And so those people are like, oh, that's abuse to the, like he's like this bull. He has listen. That bull lives a great life.
Oh yeah, and
the best life ever.
He has a great life. Like he lives on that ranch. There's no abuse taking place. Like he lives a great life.
And that's the thing, like when you watch PBR and you don't know, watching bull riding and you see them cinch them up and you think, oh, that's what's making them so angry. They're just angry. He said it's not true. He said that doesn't even really matter. He's like, that's like annoying to him. Like it's the minute that rider is bucked off, he stops. Yeah. He stops bucking.
He's good.
He just has his job.
I win.
Like he is.
I win.
And he knows that. Yeah, it's like he knows it.
Yeah, he knows it's time.
Riding solo knows, man. When I get you off, I won.
Yeah.
And he likes to win,
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool that he was talking about, Cord was talking about how, like you're like, man, do you think he feels the pressure, in like big moments if he's in New York City at Madison Square Garden?
Well, I asked if who he was more nervous for, or riding solo. And he said, did he get more nervous before his ride or when riding solo goes? Because it's like your kid almost out there, And he was like, I guess riding solo because he doesn't realize that he's about to go out. I can't tell him, come on, man, we need this win.
Yeah,
we need this
is for $100,000. This is generational money. Man, I need you to perform. This will change the path of our life and, pay a lot of bills for a long time. Yeah. I need you to buck this guy off and win $100,000,
You can't do it.
Yeah, but he's like, it doesn't matter if he's in Madison Square Garden, if he's in, if he's bucking in Las Vegas, or if he was, he found himself in the rodeo at Post, Texas, he's going to buck exactly the same.
Yeah.
And he's there to win, which I love that. I thought it was awesome.
Just what a cool name. What a cool name.
6'12".
Riding solo.
Riding solo. I absolutely loved it. It was a ton of fun. So that was cool to have Cord as a part of one of the episodes. Cord's been a friend of mine for a long time. We both were partnered with Kubota Tractors for a while through Final Descent Outdoors, our TV show that we do, the hunting show. And so I'd connected to him. He's a good guy. So when I called him up and said, hey, man, will you help us out with this segment? He was all for it. So,
come on.
Yeah, exactly. He said, come on, come hang out with us. And he actually drove all the way through the night before from Montana. and drove in and met with us. Like the dude hadn't even slept.
Yeah.
And so appreciate Cord helping us out to be able to do that.
Cool.
Cal, give us some of your favorites.
He told me he would teach me how to ride a bull. Can we just go
Don't
ahead and
get ahead of yourself. There's some things in the brewing for season 2 that may require Cal to ride a bull.
We're gonna need better insurance.
We need insurance in general.
Just a good waiver. Adam's dad's a lawyer. We're gonna need a really good liability waiver for Cal to sign.
And that's kind of cool because we leave that scenario and we roll into post and we meet Jeff Williams, who also is like famous in the horse world. Like, and what he does is crazy.
I didn't talk about that. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
that was one of the coolest things.
Like
training the horses and using that to impact people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's a horse whisperer, and the fact that he can take a horse that's considered kind of like an outlaw for these ranches. He breaks people's horses for him. So when they bring his horses to him, you know, there might be one troubled horse, just like people. There might be somebody who just can't get it together for whatever reason, bad breeding, trauma. They just can't get it together. Sweaty cheese. And he just showed us. And I was asking, I was like, well, what is it like? Like, what do you show, you know? And he went and got the one that had been there longer than the rest, you know, and showed us in the round pen. He was working them, and he was showing us like what a horse, he's not comfortable. This is what's happening to him. He's not comfortable right now. And he was working him, and then eventually he would calm down a little bit, and he would trust him. And you would see his whole body relax, but then you would see him throw a little disrespect in there, and then he'd keep going. Blah, 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 blah. And then he'd say like, okay. He's like, and there you could feel and you could see this horse come in completely angry. When he first came in, he looked like a demon horse. Like he looked ticked. Like he was intimidating and all this stuff. By the time he left, ears back, you could see love, trust, calm.
Following him around.
It was crazy.
It was nuts.
It was crazy.
I feel like making an appointment.
Yo, Brad, keep running.
I feel like I need to make an appointment.
Just go run.
I mean, is it much different than what God does to us too?
100%.
Like, come on, okay, she's not giving up yet. Keep running.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of it.
There's a lesson in there.
No, it is. Figure it out. And that was an incredible, aspect for you to be able to go and to see that and to learn and to see Pockets. Is that what his kid's name?
Pockets.
Yeah, he works with these kids. He trains these horses, but then he brings in these kids that have had sometimes not the best life, not the best situation. He has them up at 5 a.m., phones in your pocket. We don't do this, we do this. These horses have to be taken care of every day. You'll be here every day. And some of them have gone off to be on Horseman Magazine or all these things. They're like some of the best in the biz now.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That was one of my favorite things, how he just kind of crossed species with the same principles.
Yeah.
It's like, and he said that in the video he shows, like, every horse can be rebellious, every kid can be rebellious.
Yeah, he talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to show them a better way. You got to show them a better way. He's like, trust me, trust God. It was probably my favorite thing that we did while we were in post. It was really cool watching.
Yeah, I would love for that to be a whole episode on its own, because there was a really cool, like, to really see it break down in all the parts.
Yeah,
was awesome.
Like we had to chop it up pretty good, but seeing it happen in real time was
We'll see what let's press on the editor to see if he can pull it off. Where is that guy? Tell us some of your favorite places.
Okay.
In post.
If you're in post, some of my favorite places, you can't miss it. There's like the main strip of all the stores. They
do have a very distinguished downtown. They have a very bright post, colorful entryway into downtown.
Historical looking.
It's very, very historical looking. You've got a big median in the middle of trees, and then it's lined with these buildings on each side.
Yep. You've got 8th Day Customs, who I love. She makes all these like original flannels and stuff. So she got like Darley Parton bands.
Yeah,
like
they got
grungy.
Post Malone, Morgan Wallen. You got
Misty Day,
Tupac.
And
there was a Sublime one, but
so
then it's
cool.
like old school, like country too. There's like Conway, Twitty. Like she makes some super cool place. Like I was.
And it's just neat because it's custom. Like it's like she does all that.
She did
herself.
talk about wanting to make some custom.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She told me she wanted us to send the sizes, because she wanted to send us
You probably just
some
okay. Well, send her some
flannels.
stuff. That's cool. That would be awesome.
So
Yeah, so when you get done editing that other part, go ahead and send her that.
Yeah, get on that.
All right.
And then you have broke Mexican.
Excuse me, what'd you say?
Broke Mexican. Mexican? No, not Mexican. Mescan. And they can say that because they are Hispanic.
That is literally what they told us. That was literally what they said out loud with their voice.
100%. It's
I'm
such
sorry.
a cool place. Like
Yeah.
we filmed in there, interviewed them actually for some stuff we did for the City of Post. Super cool.
They're cool.
They're a fun
Handy.
couple.
They like did the whole building themselves, the old car stuff. They do screen printing.
Fantastic welder.
I mean, they're incredible people, and
It's a cool store. They've got all
husband
kinds
and
of stuff
wife,
in
just
there,
cool.
but some cool stuff. Yeah.
And then you go over to obviously like Jackson Brothers is one of my favorite for the meat stuff, and then you can go over to the Coffee Wizards. They're such like cool people, and you need to have that lemon muffin in the morning there when you have the coffee. It weighs like 10 pounds.
It was dense. Like you could fight off a small child with that
I
muffin.
mean, it got me through those
I
murals.
don't need a muffin to fight off a small child.
What if it's an aggressive child?
Anyway.
Plum crazy. The other boutiques, I think it's like the Buffalo Nickel. There's other boutiques on the other side.
Yeah, for sure.
Clothing side. I feel like there was one that was missing.
There's a
in there.
pretty good auto parts store there.
Yeah.
Because
Buy a battery.
Adam had a battery go out in Post, Texas, and he had to replace it while we were there filming.
Waxahachie took the transmission.
Yeah.
Post took the battery.
Much cheaper in Post.
Much cheaper problems at Post.
Much cheaper. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Always, yeah. Every time we're somewhere, someone's car messes up. Usually Adam's car messes up.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah. Exactly. And one place we didn't mention that's also really, really cool there is the hotel. There's a hotel downtown.
Oh, yeah. It has spooky vibes there, too.
It does, but it's a cool place. It's
It
a real
is.
cool bed and breakfast that's there. Did we both stay there, or was it just me that stayed there? It was just me because you stayed at that house.
I have stayed there, though.
You have stayed there?
But not that I don't know not when you were there, but I came for breakfast.
Yeah, you came and had breakfast with me.
For breakfast.
Yeah, we did. That was so that's another really, really cool place that's in town.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't have a lot of options on, I wasn't there as much as you've been.
Yeah.
But
I actually rented a bedroom in Carol's house while I was there painting the murals. She had
shout out to Carol.
Carol. I stayed and she had this. I was like, okay, I need a house. Like I'm gonna.
That's
be
where
here
I had
months.
the sweaty cheese was in Carol's house.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, Carol, and so Carol and I just had our little back room all to myself, and we would hang out. She would have parties. She would have like card nights with the ladies, drinking wine, and then I'd be like, hi guys. And it was just like,
hey.
it was awesome. I love Carol.
That's
She's
great.
Yeah.
So Post ended up being we went into it just really unsure like how much content we're going to get from the rodeo, but Post ended up being an incredible episode, filled with so much content, so much so that we couldn't fit it all in.
There was a lot left on the cutting room floor.
There was a lot left on the cutting room floor.
The Rod story behind the cowboy is hilarious.
Yeah, we didn't even really get to touch the Rod story at all. Rod's the cowboy on the wall, by the way.
But
who's not super happy about being on the wall.
Okay, do we have time to tell that story?
We can do whatever we can do.
We're already off the rails
this
here.
This is off the people. If they've stuck around for this long,
they want to hear the Rod story.
They're in for the long haul.
Okay, so
you know what? If you're still watching at this point, would you just comment sweaty cheese?
Sweaty cheese at this point.
If I get a sweaty cheese, I'm sending someone some merchandise. If you comment sweaty cheese, I will buy you.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Cal is willing to do a giveaway.
She's gonna give
if you comment sweaty cheese on this video on YouTube. We're not going to talk about it anywhere else.
That's it.
But in the midst of this, if you comment sweaty cheese, Cal will go through and we'll do a random selection. We'll take everybody's name, throw it in a hat.
Get you some merch.
And she'll draw it out, and Cal will get you a Cal's
100%.
Hometown Revival shirt.
That would be awesome.
In the size and style you want.
So, Rod, can we just go back? So, so when we went to do the mural, we knew for sure that we wanted to have this big cowboy in this end cap, right? But it had to be kind of a certain position in my mind to fit into that space well and be big and dramatic. And so when we were at Jeff's house, I was looking through, he has a bunch of photo books and that are incredible. And we used one of those pictures, and I needed to put the artist's name, and I need to look it up, the photographer. But I was going through, and we couldn't find one of Jeff to use. But the building owners were like, we just really would like it if it was somebody, a generic person.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anybody that people knew in town. And I was like, sure, okay, we can do that. No worries.
Nailed it.
Little foreshadowing there. I didn't nail it.
Nailed it.
So the building owners, like, they knew Jeff, and they were like, we don't want like someone we know in town. I said, okay. So I went through Jeff's photo book, and it was all these cowboys working cattle and everything like that. And in the background, there was this guy kneeling who was Rod. Okay. But I didn't know that. I figured, oh, it's just some random person we'll never see again. And so I grabbed the picture and I show everybody in group text. I'm like, this is the cowboy we're going to use for this wall. And they were like, great, looks great. No one said a word. Nobody knew who Rod was in that picture. Everybody okayed it. I said, okay. We put it up on the wall. His wife literally works 2 doors down at the hairstyling place, Donna. She's awesome. She's awesome. I start getting Facebook messages. Is that Rod? Not even from Post. From other places. Haskell.
Rod's famous.
Yes, he is. And then I was like, well, yeah, I guess that is Rod. And they go, oh, I love Rod. I go, okay. I go, maybe nobody else will say anything. Literally that day, the clip of all the cowboys filing out to come take a picture.
Oh, yeah.
They were making fun of Rod at work. They're like, you're on a wall downtown. You're famous now. And he was from Post. But it was a freaking miracle because everybody loved and respected Rod. Like, good, but man, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the attention. He don't like it.
Well, and I think that just speaks probably to, number one, the character of Rod.
Yes.
I haven't met Rod. I don't know Rod, but I do know cowboy culture.
He's just a stoic.
Aspect. He's a stoic.
And a man's man.
He's a stoic. He's a man's man, but he does his work and
no attention for it.
No attention for it,
no
and
praise.
He's not looking for that.
Yeah.
And so
very humble.
Yeah, he's a humble guy.
And so when he got there, what was funny was the night before he just got his first tattoo. So he made the wall and he just got his first tattoo. And so at the wall, when they're showing his arm, it's because the night before he just got a brand new tat, and it was like, I think it was Yosemite Sam or somebody.
Yeah.
And then they all were there just giving him a hard time, and I just felt like a dad moment because my dad's that way. We just joke and give him a hard time. And all those guys shut up in spurs and everything just to give him a hard time. So it turned out to be like this guy is infamous and nobody cleared that. And now he's on the wall in Post and everybody loves it. So it turned out to be
the other thing too is that people
lining.
talking about him at the end of the episode, some of the residents talking about that wall. But then they start talking about him, and it's powerful.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
He was, and they worked together, and that was the thing. Jeff was the cowboy on top of the city hall, the one that was on the 2-story. I used him because it's his back with his horses that we didn't make the episode. But Rod's. It wasn't so much that I knew anything about Rod. It was just that the picture of Rod was good. The positioning of Rod was good. But it just so turned out. Thank goodness, everybody loves Rod.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being pretty cool.
So shout out Rod. I know that was a shock to you. And guess what? It was a shock to Cal too.
It was. It wasn't
in the long run.
purpose.
That wasn't planned, but it did work out really, really good.
Yeah.
So
And I wanted to also say, Rhett, I think you're probably one that's gonna watch this sweaty cheese all the way through.
Rhett's still in right now.
I just want to say, everybody at the city, it was such a long process. You guys, I'm not gonna go and name everybody, but y'all were just awesome, and y'all really fought for us to be there, and I just really appreciate you guys. And
we want people to know that and we mean this about every community that we've gone to, but Post has a specialness about it.
Yeah.
Everybody, one word you hear throughout the entire episode is just family. Take care of one another, and I think that was incredibly apparent in our interactions with people there. It's very, very close knit community. They love one another and they take care of their people.
Yeah, very close knit for
Yeah.
sure.
Hope you guys enjoyed our first off our entire season. I can't believe it's over.
Season 1 in the books.
Season 1 is in the books. Is there going to be a season 2?
Can we talk about that?
What? We're going to. I'll say that's in the works of making that come together. We do have some things we do have some community sign on, some other exciting things. So there'll be a lot more information coming about that. So
I think it's just more like it's we probably can say it's going to happen, but now it's
percolating.
Like we're going to have to just keep you guys involved in the YouTube in between seasons. So
yeah, and if you make sure I was going to lead into make sure you're following us on social media.
Yeah.
Follow Cal's Hometown Revival. We're on Twitter, which we need to grow our Twitter. We need more Twitter followers.
I don't know how to do Twitter.
You don't know how to? Well, I guess X. Sorry, Elon. And then
that's why, because you're going against the algorithm using the old name.
I know. I apologize for that. Instagram, and then also Facebook. Making sure you're following Cal's Hometown Revival in those places, and then also liking and subscribing on YouTube as well. You guys have been incredible. That grew really, really quick, and it's been fun to watch and people interacting there as well. But that's kind of the plan as we're working towards a season 2 of this. We're excited about it. You guys, your feedback has been the motivation for us to say, hey, you know what, let's continue this. We do feel like it's special. I do feel like Cal's special.
Even in my diva moments.
Even in her
with all the green M&Ms.
Which is incredibly rare. There are no diva moments. Cal is incredibly humble. Cal is incredibly talented. She's beautiful inside and out. And October, 3 years ago, we had our meeting, all three of us, in Abilene. And that's where this started. 3 years ago, this past October. I sent you the picture.
I know. It's
that
almost
night.
Full circle. I'll be back in Abilene.
Yeah, exactly.
We will be.
Yeah, we will be.
We'll
be back there.
Adam?
No, he's not going.
Oh.
It's just me and you. Oh my gosh. But to see it come to fruition, and to see this thing happen, listen, we've got great editor. You have we have phenomenal talent that's a part, camera operators, sound engineers, all the people that are a part of producing and making Cal's Hometown Revival. We have incredible people that are a part of that. But
don't forget to toot your own horn there, B. Clay.
Well, I'm getting to myself. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But you have a God-given gift of. Now, I'm not even talking about your art, which is a God-given gift in itself. You have a gift of making people feel wanted, and I picked up on it from the first time that we met, that you make people feel wanted and appreciated because they are. You're genuine in that. And not only does that come across on a telephone call with you, that comes across on screen and in person. And I believe that's the magic of Cal's Hometown Revival, is that resonates through you, that you do love small town America, but you love the people there because they're important and you care about them and you care about their story. And that transcends through the words that you say. I see it in your eyes. And so I just want you to know that we love you and we're so proud of you. This has been a super, super fun journey for me. I'm not going to speak for Adam or whoever's over his shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just super proud of you. And you have an incredible talent across the board. And this has been a fun journey to do with you, and I'm glad we got to be a part of it with you.
No, I thank you guys. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, and it wouldn't have happened with anybody else. So,
yeah.
I mean, you're the person that led that drive to make it happen. I just kind of set it on a whim, and Brad made it happen, and he wrestled Adam on board. He set up the production meeting with the network, and was at any meetings and set up all the things, and
a lot of miles and a lot of phone
I
calls.
don't know what I'm doing, guys. I literally
Cal
say
just
that all
smiles.
the time. I don't know. I show up and I don't even know what we're doing that day. I show up here and I say, oh, let's do a podcast here. And I have no idea all the stuff that goes into it. They're just, these guys are really great about just making it happen, and it's always turns out so amazing, and we've had so much fun. We really enjoy film days. We enjoy days we get to hang out like this. I've gotten to enjoy just knowing y'all's families, and then Adam over there is super talented in the editing and everything that he touches. You know, what's funny is I have seen when other people edit things and it's like just misses the heart and soul of it, and Adam just really knows what he's trying to capture when he's telling these stories. And so
we've had people comment on that too. The videography, the editing, the production aspect of it is really, really good. And
the team, and I don't even know half the things that sound, and the engineers, and I don't know exactly, you know, I know they're awesome and I know they're doing their thing, but I don't know all the scientific things about it. I just know that it all works when it comes together. But for me, you know, it just has been, the show's been cool, and it's been awesome that we've been able to just make something that we feel is just wholesome and good and a feel good moment in all of the world right now. But you know, just knowing these guys and your family, and for me, it's just been, I can kind of contribute all of that to just for my own faith coming back to God, and to do that is just because I'm literally surrounded by such good people, and that have prayed for me and prayed for this show, and we have made something that we hope can just continue that through what we're doing and what we're putting out there. And that goes back to the people that we interact with in town too. It's just like we have moments that we can connect with people and we can love on them, because we are all in the trenches together. In one way or another, we're all in the trenches together, and we can't get out of that doing anything but loving each other.
For sure.
And so I think that everybody on this team has that same heart and that same outlook and mission. And we know God's in on this project, and that's enough for us, and we hope it's enough for you guys too.
I can't think of a better way to end it.
I'm just thankful for our entire team. When I was in film school, the one thing that I learned was when you notice elements of production, then they're getting in the way of the story. And that's what we've had, such an incredible team that's put together such incredible things that have gotten out of the way to allow the stories to all shine.
For sure.
And that's the beauty of a good crew and good production, good editing, good everything, is when you can get out of the way and the story shines through. Because from the beginning for us, it's not about the art, it's not about Cal, it's not about us, it's not about anything but promotion of these small towns where we see faith and family and those core values that we find so valuable shine the brightest.
Yeah.
And so that story has been told effectively because of the talent and the skills and the God-given abilities of everybody that's been involved with it.
And it's the humbleness. It's everybody's so talented, but everybody on the team is extremely humble. Like, they have no pride in what they're doing. And so that is the part that, like,
I mean, maybe not all.
But, you know, but, you know, from Jordan to Jeremy to Titus to Gilly to everybody that we've had work on there, that's why the names me. But the thing is just, we've filmed the show and we've enjoyed the time we've had together.
The process has been fun. And
not just like, it has healed me and made me a better human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's been stuff about this show that even if no one ever watched another episode, for me, I can't say like it's helped save my life, but it has. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's put me on a very good track to continue and know what's important and to grow out of this spot. Like, that, I cannot take that away from this. Like, for me, it's worth it, and that alone was for me, you know, it. And just to see everybody else do the same thing, and like, it's just been nice. It's been fun.
It has been fun. And season 2 is going to be a lot of fun too.
It's going to be more funner.
It's going to be more funner.
We're going to have more crew moments in season. I'm telling you, crew shenanigan is going to be, we're going to have some moments of camping, some funny stuff in there. Because we have it. Literally, that's all we do. I think the behind the scenes is almost more, when the camera stops, there's probably more shenanigans that happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we haven't talked about, and it's almost like we could almost come back and do a whole nother one of these about things that were behind the scenes we don't even talk about.
Just get a whole lot of mics and bring the entire crew in for.
It would
Everybody's
be fun.
on season 2. Oh,
it would
yeah.
be so much fun to have everybody in. But one of the things that I think about was that Adam didn't have a tag on his vehicle in Coleman, Texas, and Adam almost got his car impounded.
Yeah, because of a nosy neighbor.
Nosy neighbor that his car
Small
was
town.
abandoned.
I know.
They said Adam's car
It was
abandoned.
literally there for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And the guy's like, I think his car's been abandoned. Please show up. And Adam is...
I saw him with cocaine.
well, if you look at Adam, I'm with the camera on Adam right now. If you look at Adam, you can definitely tell that he is a card-carrying Wyandotte Indian. He is 100%. He is American. Hey, tell them what the chief told you that one time when he met you.
Oh gosh, when I went to Wyandotte, Oklahoma, and walked in, and my line's always, I know I'm the whitest, redheadedest Indian you've ever seen, and I said that to him, and he goes, "It's not what's out here that makes you who you are. It's what's in here." And he like touched my heart, and I was like, I've got goosebumps.
Oh my god!
Yeah, the chief of the Wyandotte tribe.
The chief. His name's Chief Billy.
It's not what's out here.
So
Yeah,
shout
I'll
out to
never
Chief-
forget that
Shout out
moment.
to Chief
Oh,
Billy.
wow.
I'll never
Give it
forget
out.
He
that
was
moment.
very serious.
No, he was dead serious. I mean, I literally
Wow.
had goosebumps all over my body.
It's not out here. It's what's
There's
in
a
here.
little
It's
Indian
not
in there.
it's not what's out
Oh
here.
my goodness, that's
incredible.
so cool.
It's what's in here.
Anyway, but he has a Native American tag that goes on his vehicle, and he didn't have it yet, and he had a temporary thing, and it's fine in Oklahoma, but in Texas it wasn't. So they're like,
They did not
yeah,
like
that's not
that.
going to work here.
They didn't like
You should
that.
have told the cop. It's not.
It's what's in here.
not-
As soon as he touches his chest,
not
he
what
just,
it's-
he just tases,
Breaks my arm.
just tases you. There's
Adam's-
so many though. There's so many behind the scenes stuff that we could talk about. It's just a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to do this. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this super long sweaty cheese episode. Make sure you comment that as well. You can also go to the store and buy some merch. I'm wearing some Cal merch right now. Cal does not have on
I
it,
am not.
but I do have on one of the Cal's hometown
Because look, it
revivals.
says cow on his chest.
It does.
Says
See, it's low
cow.
Cal's
See that?
only with spray paint.
I had to zoom out so I could get it. There you go.
You got it?
There you go.
Locals
Oh, yeah.
only, boy.
Local locales only. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, and thanks so much for tuning in. This is a lot of fun, and we'll have some more YouTube content coming forward.
This is my favorite behind the scenes.
This was fun.
I really love just the shenanigans. We're gonna have to up it season 2. The shenanigans.
There you have it. Thanks,
Cal's
folks.
Hometown Revival Podcast, brought to you by Sweaty Cheese. We'll see you on the next one.
Come join the family and follow us on all of our social media.